This time on Tabular Bits, we're going to show you how to secure your data instead of your compute, using Spark as our example compute engine against tabular managed Iceberg tables. Here you can see that we've given the analyst role Create Table Access in the SMG database. We'll need to create a credential for Spark to use, but first, let's take a look at that SMG database so we can compare the changes later. We have a single table, user data. Now we'll switch to the warehouse level to create the member credential. We'll click on the three-dot menu, select the wizard for Spark. We'll want to save that credential for later. This is how Spark is allowed access to the data. We'll save this Spark run command as well, and next we'll get into the terminal and run Spark. This is a straight cut and paste from the tabular wizard, so we'll run that. Note that blurred section. This is the credential created in Tabular that is passed to Spark that gives it its permissions. Spark will provide its startup feedback, then we'll run a few SQL commands, including a create table, which in this case is table T1. The final show tables command lists out T1 and user data. So let's double check in Tabular to make sure things are as expected. Here we see T1 is now listed alongside user data in the SMG database tables. And there are two fields, C1 and C2. Now we're going to take away the Create Table privilege from the analyst role by moving the slider to the left. Apply that change and pop back into the terminal window to test it out.
Denied.
The Create Table was no longer allowed because we took the permission away in Tabular. We can still list the tables out, however, as that privilege was still allowed. This is a really big deal. Spark doesn't have security built in, and even if it did, that would have no impact on some other compute engine like Trino, which would also need security to be configured and maintained. With Tabular, you've implemented security at the data level, which will enforce against any access by any engine. You can change these privileges dynamically, and your changes are effective immediately. We just showed you how to secure your data, not your compute, using Spark as the example compute engine. Secure all of your data with Tabular. Visit our website to find out more.